Hello and welcome back to another pretty HD video. Today we have another game of the week. This time it is the Midlands Derby. West Brom vs Aston Villa. The Hawthorns. It's a big one for both clubs and both teams. West Brom hovering above the relegation zone, whilst Aston Villa with, well, let's be honest, their dreadful October led into a decent run of form recently, which sees them currently in the position of 11th. Of course, though, they are only 6 points above the drop. Straight on to the match facts. We are using the BBC Sport website as usual. If you are new to Game of the Weeks, make sure you go and check out the first episode of Game of the Week of FIFA 15 and the 2014-15 season. Anyway, head-to-head, Villa won 4-3 in the most recent meeting to end a run of 4 successive draws between the sides. Benteke's second-half penalty won the game at Villa Park in January after the sides had shared 6 goals in the first half. West Brom's only home win against Aston Villa in the last 12 attempts of all competitions was a 2-1 in the Premier League in April 2011. They've won 1, drew 5 and lost 6. The last 3 ends of the Hawthorns have been drawn, and there has not been more than 1 goal margin between the sides in the 16 Premier League meetings so far. So basically, if you think about it, West Brom, before that 4-3 loss against Villa, they'd not lost against Villa, and it looked good. They'd not lost against them in a long time. They'd only drew, but they'd not lost. But now you're looking back and thinking, right, they've lost now, so what do we look at? How many times they've won recently? The draws don't make up for that loss. How many times have they won recently? And that is 1 in April 2011. So that is a really bad, spree of form. West Brom and Albion have lost their last 3 matches at the Hawthorns. They and Hull share the joint worst home record in the division this season, earning only 1 win and a, pretty dreadful and, embarrassing 6 points. So, as statistics say, they're not going to win against Villa. They ended a 4-match loss streak by drawing with Hull in their most recent fixture. West Brom's only win in their last 9 league matches came against struggling Leicester, which again, they're doing no better than they were last year under Steve Clarke. Julian Lescott has scored 5 Premier League goals against Aston Villa, his highest tally against one team. So that's a positive. They've got a centre-back who can score goals against Villa, and that's certainly a positive. But the weird thing is that West Brom, their team is very unusual. They sacked 2 of their managers in 1 year, being Pepe Mal and Steve Clarke, of course, in 1 season and 1 year, of course, 2014. And as 2014 comes to the end, we've got a very pressured Alan Irvine. Why employ an inexperienced manager like Alan Irvine? And no, he's not doing a dreadful job. He's currently doing his job. The club's board objective should be to avoid relegation this year. They had a great season when they finished 8th, but that put their expectations very high, and they went down the pot from there, and they didn't play as well the following season, which of course was last season. So this season, what are their realistic expectations? In my opinion, survive relegation, work off it from there. Currently, he is doing his job, but not amazingly effectively. There's been many results where they've played dreadful and lost. I mean, yes, if they play well and lost, it's a bit of unjust, but they have played dreadful and lost, and their football is very poor. I'm feeling that Alan Irvine definitely wasn't the right choice. He is inexperienced in the Premier League, and some people might disagree with me on this, but even my brother said himself, by the way, my brother has got a Twitter account now, so I will probably be mentioning that soon enough, but even my brother said himself, if they lose Villa, Alan Irvine is pretty much sacked, or very close to being sacked, which is a very debatable theory, a very debatable idea, but it's not non-considerable. Alan Irvine and West Brom, not too many rumours about his sacking, but he could be the first manager sacked of the season. As if no managers have been sacked yet. A lot of faith has been put into their clubs with the likes of Brendan Rodgers, with the likes of Alan Pardew. Of course, until Alan Pardew went on that massive spree, with the likes of Mauricio Pochettino at Tottenham. He's been given not a long chance as such, but he's been continually given a chance. And the thing is with Tottenham as well, they've got a lot of good individual players. They just don't work well as a team. But Aston Villa, the villains as they put them, are on a 5-match unbeaten run, winning consecutive games after 3 successive draws. They've never gone 6 league matches without a defeat under current boss Paul Lambert. Paul Lambert really is starting to piss me off. He's such a dick. Don't you think he's a bit of an idiot? I mean, the way that he overreacts on every single bloody goal that he scores. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, of course I'm biased. I'm very biased. Well, if you don't know why, then, well, you've not been on this channel for very long. But, yeah, most of you won't know why. It's because I'm a Birmingham City fan, and now I've said that on a bloody West Midlands Derby. I'm going to get West Brom and Villa, and probably Wolves fans firing at me from all bloody directions. But, yeah, I mean, I am probably biased in this, and that's probably caused a lot of uproar in the comments by now, and probably 10 times more dislikes than what was originally going to start. But please don't dislike, please hear me through. Paul Lambert, he's a decent manager. He left Norwich on mutual terms, and, well, sort of basically stormed out the club. He joined Villa, and he's okay there. Villa are doing decent. They're doing quite well, in fact. And despite the fact that they had an abysmal October, they've really, really done what I think they should be aiming for. And I wouldn't be surprised if, soon enough, they find themselves top half of the table, maybe even fighting for Europa League, Champions League. Not yet, but soon. They've got a team which is young and they can build on. Players like Andres Weimann, players like Benteke, as long as, of course, Benteke picks up his form again, as he seems to be doing since his injury. They are all players which can still build. I think Obomnahor's had his day. I think he has 2-3 seasons max left in him. He hit his prime a few years ago, never been the same since, should be scoring more goals. But Villa are a good team, and there's something about Paul Lambert, though, which I don't like. I don't know what it is. I didn't particularly like him at Norwich, so you can't go saying that it's because I'm a Blues fan. There is just something about him. I don't like him in press conferences, the things he says. I don't like his remarks. I don't like the way that he's quite stuck up, in my opinion. And it's, of course, this is football. There's so many opinions in football that it's very debatable. But in my opinion, he's quite on his own head and probably thinks more of his club than what they actually are. Yes, Villa are a good side, but he just seems to almost sort of make excuses when they're not doing well. And I don't think that's good of him. I think if they're not doing well, they're not doing well. They're doing well currently in the league. I think they'd probably take 12th as a position, of course. If I was a Villa fan, I'm presuming I would take 12th. Then again, I'm a Birmingham fan. I'd take anywhere in the bloody Premier League at the moment because it doesn't look like we're anywhere near it. It seems like we're closer to League One. Although Gary Rowett has sort of turned things around to an extent. We'll see how that goes. But either way, off Birmingham, this is the other Midlands Derby. So, being the only Midlands Derby, it's an important one, and it's a shame to see less Midlands teams in the league now, because it's full of London teams, and I've got no problem with London teams, but when you are constantly playing London versus London, and there's so many London derbies, it gets a bit repetitive. There's 2 Tyneside teams, there's 4 teams, in and about the areas of Manchester and Merseyside, and, you know, there's very limited Midlands teams, and, well, let's be honest, there's very limited Midlands teams that are any good. Wolves and Birmingham are on the decline. Walsall never really stepping up to it. Leicester, I suppose you could class them as a Midlands team, sort of in the Premier League now as well, in a way, so it's sort of a derby, but not granted as such a derby. But anyway, I think I will end this video here. Just before I end, I just want to say Lambert's side have the same record as they did this stage last season. So it's pretty similar for them, pretty much a duplicate season, pretty much a carbon copy. And Villa became the final Premier League team of the season to claim 3 points from a losing position when they beat Leicester on Saturday. Finally, that's happened. In the Premier League. My predictions, I think Villa will win. I'm not certain on that. It will either be a draw or a win to Villa. I don't think West Brom are going to get a win on this one, and I might go with a similar result to here, 1-0 to Villa. So anyway, I did thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you smash that like button. I'll see you next time with another Game of the Week episode, and goodbye for now.